Welcome to Laughing Llama in the Library. I'm Dr. Leah Leach, and from time to time I'm going to drop some seeds of wisdom that bloomed for me in hopes that they will bloom for you as well. I'm not a real llama, animal, or Buddhist venerable, but I'm working on becoming one either in this lifetime or the next. The animal or the Buddhist venerable. I think either would be quite nice. Thank you for being on this journey with me. I cultivate the intention for any wisdom or joy to arise from this musing to be a benefit of all beings. Brought to you by Gal's Guide. Today's seed is a quote. The truth has no handles. So this phrase gave me a visual word that has been in flux in recent years, truth. So when I heard this phrase in class, I immediately drew a vase and a coffee cup. The visualization of truth being a container that holds either one thing like water or many things like sangria got me thinking. So go with me on this metaphor for a minute. Let's say it's a carafe of orange juice. And in this carafe, there is not just one orange that is the juice. It's more likely that over a dozen different oranges were used to make the juice. The truth is also made up of dozens of different things. Experiments, ideas, rumors, opinions, and trial and error. The truth is a container for all of those precepts, including the ones that contradict each other. They swirl around together and combine into a truth that is agreed upon. So let's get a little deeper with an example of a woman of history, Coco Chanel. So there is an agreed upon truth that Chanel created the little black dress, the LBD. To a certain extent, that's true. I mean, women in the Georgian and Victorian times were known to wear black dresses when they were in mourning. Marie Curie wore one quite frequently, even before her husband died. However, the idea of a simple silhouette of delicate fabric that was black was developed by Coco Chanel in the 1920s. It helped that the Great Depression was in full swing and that there was a war coming. This lack of fabric options and the need for cheaper outfits, and many women already being in mourning because of the war efforts, were all parts of what made the truth of the LBD a reality. Coco also had Vogue and royalty, and later a PR department on her side. So who's to say that another designer made the little black dress, but we only remember that Coco did? That's the grasping. That's adding a handle to an agreed upon truth. It's like saying, to hold on to this truth, I need to be separate from it. You don't need to grasp for the truth. The truth is a container that is held with open hands, not a closed fist. Truth is openness. Truth is without limits. Truth is resting in the ground of being. There are fewer truths than there are handles. So find your truths in life. So how this seed brings me happiness. This phrase gave me so much freedom. Knowing that what I grasp as a handle, someone else might be fully embracing and holding as truth. As a Buddhist, I hold that the truth of life is suffering and that there is a way out of that suffering, whereas other religions won't touch that as a vessel or even if it has a handle on it. So I was picturing myself holding firmly a wooden bowl with water and a lotus floating on top and saying, "This is my truth." All while standing next to a person who is holding a clay pot filled with rice and saying, "This is my truth." And then yet another who is holding a glass pitcher filled with wine and saying, "This is my truth," and so on. It's not that we need to match up with others. It's to respect what we hold is truth. It's acknowledging that so many people hold with open arms their own truth, their sacred truth, no matter the container or the contents. That's their truth. and it is as valuable as everyone else. So I bow to the truth I hold with two open hands, and I bow to the truth that others hold with two open hands. So what book, movie, or song did this kind of like bring up in me as kind of like a comparison? So this one's quite silly, and you can take it as deep as you like it, but it really made me think of Subterranean Homesick Blues by Bob Dylan. The pump don't work 'cause the vandals took the handles. Now, there is a strong part of me that thinks Dylan just thought this was a funny line and it was a great way to end the song. Vandals and handles is a fantastic rhyme, and it's a creative one that you kind of don't hear that often. Now, only Dylan knows how much thought was really put into that line, and I'm playing around with it to give it more depth, and I totally acknowledge that. But when I look at this line of Dylan's in context to a truth having no handles, I could see it mean that society, to fuel themselves, can't embrace truth in its totality. They need a handle to grab onto first. People are very weary of the truth. You could go deeper and say that because it's talking about a pump, that it's gasoline, and that gasoline ignites fuel as fire, but also truth ignites a passion. The also ironicness is that in this video that is filmed by D.A. Pennebaker, there are two men on the side talking while Dylan is flashing the iconic white cards with some of the lyrics. Well, of those two men on the side, one of them is Allen Ginsberg. And Allen Ginsberg and the Lama that I follow, Lama Trosum Aleone, they met in 1972, and I have a picture in the show notes. So how was this seed planted? This phrase was said in a Prajnaparamita practice by La Pon Charlotte Rotterdam on April 3rd as part of a Feeding Your Demons workshop that I was in. Now, the roots of this seed, I'm actually not aware of the root of this phrase. So when I tried to research it, I hit a very strong wall of Jack Nicholson's "You Can't Handle the Truth" from A Few Good Men. And it was very hard to get past the hundreds of Google entries past Jack Nicholson. So if anybody knows whom this phrase is attributed to, I would love to know. If your Google Kung Fu is stronger than mine, please let me know if you know the root phrase of "the truth has no handles." My guess is that it's Machig Lebron, but I cannot say with any proof or certainty. So I hope this brought you some wisdom and a little bit of a smile. Thank you.